Our recent Alumni Award winner, Marsela Jorgolli. She earned her doctorate in physics from Harvard University in 2015. One of many academic achievements, Jorgolli became the first and only COD student to receive the prestigious Barry Goldwater Scholarship and only the second COD student to be chosen for the USA Today All-USA Academic First Team. She holds 6 US patents and has authored many publications, including 7 in selective peer-reviewed journals.
Marsela deserves so much credit for being who she is, for overcoming tremendous odds, for succeeding remarkably in a very challenging discipline and as a woman in science.
Marsela was an outstanding student. She's an outstanding human being. She's an outstanding scientist. And she would have succeeded no matter where you put her.
Early on, we knew Marsela had tremendous potential and enormous intellectual gifts and academic acumen, and she certainly proved that right. That first impression has come out to be astonishingly on target. She acquired many honors here at College DuPage. Probably the most prestigious was the Barry Goldwater Scholarship, which is a national honor, one of the most prestigious scholarships in the United States. She also won a National Science Foundation grant for some research when she was an undergraduate. This is very rare. And to have an undergraduate at a community college do this is rarer still. She participated in many rigorous academic courses, the honors courses. Marsela, I think from the outset, showed a passion for learning.
She's got connections in the particle research world. She's had an internship in particle research. My assumption was that's what she would do her PhD, and then Marsela sort of said no. She got into biophysics. But I sort of think it says, again, something about Marsela.
And I think that is the most attractive thing to a teacher, just as she's getting to know a student, is a sense of that passion for learning.
I think it speaks highly of Marsela that very early in her career, she has this long list of credentials. I would certainly say in my time here at COD, I've seen a long list of outstanding female science and engineering students, Marsela being amongst the top.
Marsela was a wonderful role model for young women in science, and I'm sure she's continued to be that role model and an inspiration to other young women. It's so important that we have this education and that we have people like Marsela to show us how it can be done.
From the class of 2005, please welcome Marsela Jorgolli, a 2017 Distinguished Alum.
Oh boy, do I really have to talk? Can I write an equation somewhere and explain that? That would be much easier. All right. Thank you many times. I cannot thank enough everyone around me. I want to say that the biggest lesson and the very everyday lesson that I have learned and used, even today, yesterday, it was from here, from COD. And that lesson is that everything is possible. Anything in any environment, in any resources is possible. And by any resources, I mean what you see first. Many things are hidden. Many things is not up, a lot of things are not up front. We just have to search for those. And the reason that I now believe and that the reason that I learned this lesson here at COD was because when I joined here, there was a big, big disappointment those first couple of weeks. And I learned that lesson because of many mentors. And you heard from Dr. Carter, but what he said for me is only 1% of what I think of him. He has been my mentor throughout my career. Even nowadays, we talk to each other, we chat, both for professional, academic, and even personal discussions throughout it. So thank you. Thank you for everything, and I'll thank you more, believe me, throughout. Oh, and when I saw Alison Moore, Miss Moore, like today, I was like, oh my God. She made me remember of like hours and hours that I would sit just next to her. I would bring at her office a printout, and we just sit and discuss and chat, and like going from a sentence to like a long discussion about everything and anything. I don't know how you were able to listen to me. And how you were able to stay there for even longer than hours together and answer all my questions. I have so many friends, relatives, family that get bored with my questions, because even today I haven't minimized those, but thank you for everything. So in terms of mentors, professionally, socially, in the academic lives, you have been the main ones. But I feel that mentors throughout my life, from then till now, before then, have been my family. My parents, my brother, my best friend, which is my husband, but still not used to call him a husband. He's still my best friend. They have been by my side the entire time. Dr. Carter made it possible for me to go as a freshman, the very first semester here at COD, to a NASA-sponsored conference out in Texas. My stop was in Houston, in a connection. I had been in the US less than 6 months. I lost my second connection flight to Brownsville. I had no idea where Brownsville was. And back then in the day, there weren't any cell phones. At the airport, there were only those pay by coin, whatever those phones are called, right? However, I called my dad, and it was my dad that made me connect with a relative that had internet, that could log in into my email and call the people out in Brownsville and make sure that I made it to the next flight, because I didn't know that I could make it to another flight. I lost it. I was like, oh boy, I'm in Houston. What I'm doing here? But I made it out in Brownsville, and from then, things moved forward much more easily. But other than that, and this was, I can tell many, many, many stories, but everything was made possible because of my parents. Oh, and my brother, he still today corrects my accent, and I have a strong one, I know, but he helps me, and he has helped me in everything. Every time that I feel down, somehow he knows how to make me happy and have a big smile. While my closest friend, for many times, from the very first year that I had been here in the US, he never bothered to wonder why I was doing something, or why he had to pick me up in the lab at 4 a.m. Oh yeah, he wondered when sometimes he had to sit next to me in the lab, why did I have to wait for a little pump in the screen? He's like, can I move the mouse up and down so that I see a signal out there in the data that you're trying to record? However, he didn't do that. He waited until we saw that little signal, which allowed me to eventually graduate. So yes, anything is possible, but that's because we want it. Everyone has to want it, but in parallel, it's everyone surrounding us. And the community here at COD, that's, while I was at COD, a lot of things happened. I had a chance to learn a lot here, go out at Columbia University, do some research at Fermilab, go talk to people at Argonne, go present a poster at Argonne, so on and so forth. So, as I said, it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you want something, as long as you identify the path to follow. And there might be many zigzags and many doors closed, but as long as you follow what you want and you find the mentors that you need around you, everything and anything is possible. So thank you. Thank you.